Hello viewers, I'm Red2006 and I'm very pleased to have you join me on the latest leg of our scenic tour through the Johto region in Pokemon Gold version. As a quick recap on our last day's adventuring, I took on the Goldenrod City Gym in what was intended to be Dash's last hurrah. However, he steamrolled his way through the gym, including delivering a very karmic defeat to Whitney's Miltank. Today, we're heading through the National Park and doing a couple of errands. Welcome back viewers, and what a day it has been! I'm recording all these episodes in one lot. I'm taking a break from Super Mario Maker 2, which I have been really enjoying, and things have just gone swimmingly for me if I'm going to be honest. I won the bug catching contest at a long last and didn't lose the recordings, and then Dash flattened Whitney, somewhat literally, by using rollout. I'm keeping him. I'm bringing him along with me. If you talk to this guy, getting back on our errands, we can pick up a Spearow. It will be holding mail. You will have to deliver it to Route 31, which is pretty good because we have to defeat Sudowoodo along the way. Take one more look at scenic Route 35, and we head into the National Park. Now my team is a little different. I had to make room for that Spearow, but for the sake of catching a Pokemon I want to use, I have brought King Zing with me. He's going to hang around for a while because I'm really proud of that Beedrill. Welcome to the National Park. Quite a beautiful location with plenty of trees, lovely flower gardens, and long grass where Pokemon roam. And a teacher who will give you the Quick Claw. Very good for slower Pokemon. I will probably give it to Ruby. Just a really calm and peaceful area, to be honest. Again, it's just that sort of natural connection that Kanto sort of lacks, in my opinion. You can take time out to relax in Johto. It's so beautiful. And as I've been trying to say, it's even better in the remakes, where you get those gorgeous intro splashes to areas like this. You can see different Pokemon at different times of day. It's fun to try and spot them all, and the sunset one, beautiful. I have some trainers to battle, and there's a Pokemon I want to find too. So we'll get onto that. With that out of the way, we will be able to enjoy the beauty. And our first opponent in this battle is Oddish. And I'm sending out Leon. Check his moves and you will see he has Ice Punch, which Kadabra and Alakazam, and Abra, let's be honest, can abuse like nobody's business. Next opponent, Voltorb. It's very good to have Alakazam equipped with Psychic and some of the elemental punches. The Pokemon that is meant to use those really well, Hitmonchan, can't because its special attack stings. It only had 30 special in Generation 1, which was really bad because any Pokemon with decent special attacks would be able to take it down. The Hitmon line tends to have very good special defense from Generation 2 onwards. And let's see what we've run into. Just a Metapod. There is a Pokemon here that can only be found during the day, so I'm probably cutting it a little fine, but we should be alright. And another trainer to battle. You will start to meet poker fans a bit more often now. Some of the females use Snubble. It sort of ties into the idea, or the common perception in media anyway, that women have these slightly unusual dogs that they think is cute. Probably stems from people tending to think pugs are cute. And I'll be honest, I've looked after one, and while I don't think they're really cute per se, I do think they're kind of fun. they just sort of snuffle a lot. They're pretty friendly. I've looked after one, and I can tell you that if they want to go in a certain direction, you're going to have a tough time making them go where you want them to go. They're fairly strong. But, as I mentioned, they're kind of fun. I'm very much a cat person, but I don't mind dogs as long as they're well trained, and most people do train their dogs pretty well. Some people do just let their dogs bark all night, and I hate those ones, especially the small ones, but I also hate it when cats get really feral too. You've got to look after your cats. To a degree, I can put up with barking dogs because they're just trying to protect their territory, much like cats hunting birds is doing what they do. Train any pet properly, really, and you have a great friend for life. Just like Pokemon, train them well and you'll have fantastic allies who are more than just essentially pets, they're friends. So I'll keep on my way and battle the trainers. One more to go after this. She has a similar start to Jack, but she will use Cubo instead. You'll have to wait till Rock Tunnel if you want to get Cubo. Oddish is found at night in Ilex Forest, and I will try and tack it on to another episode. I haven't been able to do that because I've been a bit busy with things, but today is a good day to do it. So with King, I nearly called him King Stink for some reason. That's because the boss fight is called King Zing Stink. Anyway, with King Zing along, I will go and find Oddish. I might wind up knocking out Oddish, but we'll see what happens. And I will battle the two policemen. So one more trainer down and I will switch to Ruby. Because I have the benefit of knowing what it is, and this Pokemon is Raichu. And you might think it's not that flash because it's only level 14, but his Raichu does have Thunderbolt, which can catch you by surprise. But I've given you all the information you need, and as they say, knowing is half the battle. So, it'll do a little bit of damage, not too much. And magnitude 5, will that be enough? Yep, it's enough. Ruby is pretty strong. Not too long until she evolves. So now it's time to go Pokemon hunting, and I will switch King Zing. Hopefully I don't knock it out. I'll let you know when I find it, okay? And here we go. This is the Spotlight Pokemon for today, Sunkern. Even though the Pokedex tends to rag on Magikarp as being incredibly weak, in Generation 2, Sunkern took over as the Pokemon with the lowest base stat total. It's only beaten by Wishy-Washy's standard form. Sunkern's base stats are all at 30, so it's not particularly spectacular. It's only found in one location, during the day, so it may not be considered worth going out of your way for. Especially when you consider that its evolved form, Sunflora, doesn't really improve its fortunes a lot. Despite boosting its stats a fair bit, Sunflora does have a lot of trouble standing out against all the other grass types out there. It is worth noting that in the Pokeathlon in Generation 4, Sunkern's maximum stats are all the same. But this time, rather than being terrible, they're all 5 stars. The only other Pokemon which can get all its stats to 5 stars is Arceus. Most likely this was added to give Sunkern a little bit of a boost. While it isn't fantastic by any means, I'm one of those trainers who'll give pretty much anything a try, and I'm happy to use it. Worth noting, in the Game Boy Color games, Sunkern's sprite is actually much closer to what its shiny form would be, rather than its usual yellow colour. And let's see if I can catch it, because I actually want to try it out this time. I have a Sunstone. Excellent work. King Zing has set it in just the right zone for catching. And we have it. Not bad, worth trying out just for the sake of it. Sunkern, the seed Pokemon. It may drop out of the sky suddenly. If attacked by a Spearow, it will violently shake its leaves. It is worth noting I actually caught it in my practice recordings using the Spearow that's holding mail. Very appropriate. So now I have some items to go and grab. Tell you what I'll do, I'll put on the beautiful music from the remakes, and you can take some time to wander around the park and enjoy it. Let's go. Let's continue the journey on Route 36. Let's see, I will probably keep Ruby at the front of the party for now. Actually, knowing what's coming up, I probably won't use her. I'll put Dash at the front of the party, because he is absolutely on fire. We can grab an item from this tree here. It's an ice berry. You're probably not going to need that. Freezing is very rare. We have an opponent we can battle. A Psychic. He has 2 Abras and Kadabra. Most people who use Abra make use of TMs. Worth noting that your rival did not in Generation 1. His Abra only had Teleport, so you could pretty much pick it off with anything that could damage it, because the AI generally didn't switch out. So Dash is level 24, and I'll keep rolling with him. Things have gone surprisingly well with him. There may be a point where he starts to get outclassed, but for now he's going to stick along. And that should take care of it, since Swift is a physical move in this generation. It can be a bit fiddly trying to work things out based on type, and it does hinder some Pokemon considerably. The setup from Generation 4 onwards is much better. Also, if you head down here and you have Cut, you probably will have seen that, but it's a shortcut past the National Park. Still worth going to the National Park. If you come back here ready to catch Pokemon, you can find Growlithe and Stampler. I might take a little bit of time to see what I can catch, to be honest, and I think Torture is the best bet for catching. to be honest, while he's around the same level, King Zing, I nearly called him King Sting again. I think it's because of Let's Plays I've watched, so I apologise for that, but King Zing probably wouldn't agree with Growlithe. To be honest, I completely forgot about some of the Let's Plays I'd watched when I decided to name him King Zing. I thought, let's reference Donkey Kong Country too, and then I remembered, oh that's right, there was one called King Sting out there, which is why I keep getting confused. Also because the boss fight is King Zing Sting. Ah, here's Growlithe. Always a good Pokemon to have. I swear by Arcanine as a fire type. Best if you can get one with Intimidate because it helps its bulk a little bit. Oh. Alright, here's Standler. Standler is mainly memorable, in my eyes anyway, for being really, really awkward to catch. It doesn't seem to matter what I do, it has a refusal to stain the blasted Pokeball. Okay, Quick Attack might chip away at it just enough, or knock it out. That one's not bad luck, that one's on me. It's annoying, but I can't complain. But here's Growlithe. Alright, should be able to catch it. There we go! If it doesn't scare you away with Raw, you can catch it fairly easily. Growlithe, the puppy Pokemon. It has a brave and trustworthy nature. It fearlessly stands up to bigger and stronger foes. And trust me, Growlithe is good. Because of the rarity of Firestones in this game, I actually wound up taking one to the Elite Four in a run-through of Soul Silver. It fared really well. I'd leveled it up to around the same level as the main team, and it acquitted itself admirably. Performed fantastically. So we've got one more opponent. I'm not going to worry about Standler. I can grab that off screen. We have one more opponent before we get to our tree. And he has Tangela. This is pretty much why I didn't want to use Wood. The Psychic types will do a bit of damage to her, and Tangela can deal 4 times damage. Its special defense isn't great, but it has pretty good physical defense, which is built on when it becomes Tangrowth. You get a fair bit of experience out of that. So if you want, you can grab his phone number. I'm not going to worry about that just now. Okay, I think leading with Leon might be the best bet here. So, what I'm going to do is quickly save, I'll cut that out, and then we will get to the battle, because there's only one of it and I really want to catch it. Okay, saving is done. Let's go and spray water on it with the squirt bottle. A one-use key item. I think this was where you got the berry pots in the remakes, at the same place you got the watering item, and I think you could use the watering item to keep watering your berries, so it wasn't just useless. Pseudo-Water is fairly sturdy, so we should be able to chip its health down with Psybeam. Okay, its special attack sucks, I don't have much to worry about as far as Psybeam goes. What I will do though, is see if I can chip its HP down with Dash. I have to be careful of low kick. And Flail. Okay, Swift ought to do. There we are, good catching territory. Let's go. Let's see if it works. No. Okay, I'd better switch to Ruby. Ruby has better defences and she can bolster them. She'll take less damage from low kick and rock throw. And speaking of, I have to be very careful I don't accidentally use self-destruct. If needs be, I'll top her health up. Flail shouldn't do very much. Take 2 on catch. Ah. Yeah, better patch Ruby's health up, just to be on the safe side. Sometimes Pseudo-Wudo cooperates, sometimes it doesn't. Today it's not cooperating. Suppose it's how it goes. Probably burned up all that good fortune taking down Whitney and getting Yanma straight afterwards, so swings and roundabouts. Yep, it's just popping on out of there. Bring a Pokemon with Hypnosis or a Sleep-Inducing move. Last one. I went pretty quiet because I was absolutely certain I'd have to start again. Pseudo-Wudo, the imitation Pokemon. Although it always pretends to be a tree, its composition appears to be closer to a rock than a plant. So there we go, we can head... What does Anthony want? Rubbish Core. At least in the remakes you can just refuse to pick those up. So, we can head back to the Violet City side, talk to this guy, and he will give you the TM for Rock Smash, which I think you can buy from now on. He'll give you the rundown of that. And we're pretty much good to go. Now I believe Wooper can learn that, so when it comes time to explore, after we've beaten Morty, I will be using Wooper. And Bellsprout. So here we are back in Violet City. And I have that delivery to make, which will wrap up the episode. Head along here and talk to this guy. And there's that Spearow. You can level it up and evolve it, I believe. And we get the TM for Nightmare. If the target is asleep, use Nightmare and it will take 1/4 of its maximum health in damage between turns. It's particularly potent if combined with Darkrai's Bad Dreams ability, or if you want to be really gimmicky, combine it with Curse, just for laughs. Anyway, we have had a pretty good day if I'm going to be honest, and it's a good time to wrap up recording. Thank you very much for joining me. Browse around Violet City and catch up on anything you missed last time, and I will see you in the next instalment of our scenic tour through the Johto region when we're heading off to Ecruteak City. Don't leave just yet, because there's another nighttime jaunt to experience. For our first objective, we are going to catch Ghastly in the Sprout Tower. You can also find Ghastly in the Tin Tower once you gain access, but that will take some time. Catch it here if you want it for your team. After wandering for a bit and encountering Rattata, Ghastly showed up. Whooper was on hand for catching it. Sadly, she didn't have great luck with hypnosis. And of course, upon waking up, you guessed it, critical hit. So that put a little damper on the plans, but another Ghastly was along very quickly. Whooper handled things much better this time, avoiding being paralysed by Lick and dishing out some good damage with Water Gun. Not quite as much as I'd like, but enough to work with. The first attempt didn't go so well. The second attempt, more of the same. Third attempt, broke out even faster, but like the castles in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the fourth one stayed up. And we have a brand new addition to the Pokédex in Ghastly. Ghastly, the gas Pokemon. With its gas-like body, it can sneak into any place it desires. However, it can be blown away by wind. Next, we were on Route 35 and Route 34 to battle the two policemen. Both of them use Growlithe, and their tactics were fairly similar. They're the same level as the other trainers on the route, so you shouldn't have much trouble if you go back there later on. Ruby took care of things pretty easily. Bite targets her weakest special defense, but thankfully she was able to dish out a lot of damage while shrugging off anything she took. The second Growlithe did prove a little bit of a hiccup, if only because Ruby would flinch when it used Bite. Unfortunately for Growlithe, Ruby was largely unfazed and just powered through. Decent experience, but I was pretty overleveled. The battle on Route 34 was pretty much the same. Nothing really special to report if I'm going to be honest. It's just nice showing these off because I kept forgetting to. I recorded a lot of episodes at once, but this time it was Leon's turn to show off. And with some funky special effects from Psybeam, down it went. So there are the two policemen. Sadly, there aren't very many opponents you can battle at different times of the day. We headed down to Ilex Forest, which was nearby because I finally had to catch Oddish. Sunkern was on hand, so I decided to switch it to the forefront. This was a stupid move. As you will see when we finally encounter Oddish. Well, when I say finally, it was the first encounter. I decided I'd power up Sunkern's special attack and use Mega Drain. I knew I wouldn't be doing much damage. And Oddish could heal a fair bit too. However, I completely overestimated what was going to happen, so I cut out the very long and very boring battle. See the end result? That was about 7 or 8 turns. Thankfully, I caught Oddish pretty easily. Oddish, the weed Pokemon. Awakened by moonlight, it roams actively at night. In the day, it stays quietly underground. So, there you have it. That wraps up the nighttime adventures for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.